Station gang, and welcome back to Surrounded by Short Boxes with your boy Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club, the show that puts the spotlight on the history behind the hidden gems in my personal collection and why I love them so freaking much. Now, in our last episode, we headed south with Superman and Alan Moore and Rick Veitch's DC Comics Presents number 85, a fever dream team up between the Man of Steel and Swamp Thing that was a gut punch of trippy poetic dread. Today, we are definitely making a big pivot, but at the same time, we're staying stylistic, we're staying grounded with a modern classic from the Marvel side of things. A book that's got arrows, attitude, and one of the most human portrayals of a superhero that you'll ever see. That's right, we're talking Hawkeye number 3 from the 2012 Eisner Award-winning run by Matt Fraction and David Aja. The third issue in what has become not only the definitive take on Clint Barton, but a truly landmark book in Marvel's modern era. Stylish, minimal, deeply personal, and in this case, centered around cool cars, tracksuit bros, and trick arrows. So let's get into what I love about this issue so much. Okay, so first up, how did we get here? The Fraction Aja Hawkeye run begins in 2012, and it's part of the Marvel Now rebrand for the House of Ideas, coming out of the Avengers vs. X-Men event, and it's led by my favorite Marvel editor-in-chief of all time, Axel Alonso. To me, Axel was a visionary and a genius. We got so many bangers from this initiative. Hickman gets put on Avengers and New Avengers, and he starts to build towards Secret Wars, which is 3 years down the line. Rick Remender gets to do his awesomely weird Captain America Dimension Z story with JR. Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan do a great Deadpool run. Jason Aaron and Esad Ribic turn in an epic Thor of God of Thunder. Also, Jason Aaron doesn't get enough props for his time on Wolverine and the X-Men, which is also happening here during this time. We get Wade and Sam Nee on Daredevil. We get Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey's criminally underrated Young Avengers. I mean, I could keep on going with the examples. It's an absolutely killer line of books. Hawkeye stands out in that it doesn't really feel beholden to that era of comics at all, though. It's scrappy and timeless. It reads like someone snuck a Vertigo book into the Marvel bullpen. At the time, Fraction's coming off runs on books like Thor and, of course, Iron Man, which he did with Salvador Larroca, clocking in at over 60 issues on that book. It was the idea here of writing not one Hawkeye, but two that sold Matt Fraction on the book. As he said in an interview, saying, quote, "It was a relationship I hadn't seen before and hadn't written before. I realized it was about the two of them and Clint specifically being compulsively unable to stop trying to help people, even on his days off, and what it meant for this young woman to fall into his orbit. What a blessing and a curse that would be for her. He's not a healthy role model. If you take this good man who's also a damaged person, what kind of mentor would he make? What could the mentor teach the mentee, and what could the mentee teach the mentor?" It took me a while to realize I was writing an abuse narrative, a story about abuse survivors, but before I could articulate that, I knew that's what I was writing. So Fraction brings in David Aja for Hawkeye, who he previously worked on with the immortal Iron Fist, doing the super dope Seven Cities of Heaven tournament storyline with him. And together on Hawkeye, they build something quietly revolutionary. Aja's art is minimalist magic. It's a blend of Alex Toth, David Mazzucchelli, Javier Pulido. Every panel is clean, sharp, staggeringly efficient. The storytelling here is visual first. He's a master of using space and silence like weapons, and his choices when it comes to composition and panel design are incredible. So, issue 3. Clint Barton isn't the Avengers golden boy here. He's beat up, he's tired, he's out of sync, and he's endlessly trying to do the right thing without a super suit or a super salary. This entire issue is basically a chase scene, and yet it's packed with character. Clint's disheveled leadership, Kate's sharper than Clint instincts, the clown-faced tracksuit mafia yelling bro every other sentence. But what elevates this all beyond just fun action is how Fraction and Aja make you feel it all. The speed, the chaos, the pain, the frustration, and the messy heart at the center of it all. And can we talk about these trick arrow infographic panels? Aja gives us an illustrated breakdown of each arrow that Hawkeye uses throughout the chase, net arrow, putty arrow, rocket arrow, and it is an awesomely realized love letter to Elliot Brown and Silver Age weirdness. And it's all filtered through this 21st century cool. But more on that in just a bit. Starting off, Fraction and Aha hit the gas from the jump. We open with Clint and Kate Bishop mid-chase. It starts off with Clint's fallible narration, and these words have also opened up our previous two issues.
Okay, this looks bad.
Those words set the tone for not only the issue, but the series as a whole. Kate's behind the wheel of this gorgeous red Dodge Challenger with Clint riding shotgun, and they are being pursued by a gang of Mini Coopers straight out of the Italian Job.
What'd you think, John?
And what's that? Oh, yeah. We're already being shot at. Just another day in the life of Clint Barton. Kate is driving. She looks pissed. There's a redheaded lady whose mouth is all taped up, riding along in the back as a seemingly unwilling passenger. We got tires squealing, arrows are flying. Aha's clean and flat aesthetic is keeping the chaos tight. I love the compositions here, how the panels are moving left to right. Our eye kind of flows with the traffic. It's kinetic, but it feels controlled. This isn't our superhero comics per usual. It's like storyboarding for a movie. It feels like a film, like Bullet a la Steven Soderbergh or Michael Mann. Narrative then flashes back to earlier that day inside Clint's apartment. We're with Lucky the Pizza Dog and Kate Bishop, and immediately we get the sense that Clint's life is a mess. But he's trying. That's the core theme here. Trying and failing, but he's still showing up. Also, this apartment setup, though, bro, you're an Avenger. We got a guy, his dog, a beat-up coffee table, an overturned chair, a floor scattered with trick arrows. He's a mess. Kate shows up. She's rocking a new purple jumpsuit, purple being both the series and Hawkeye signature color, of course. Clint is fussing over all his unlabeled trick arrows and his need to figure out what's what and label them. There's a great bit of foreshadowing that pays off at the end of the issue, centered around their conversation about the need for a boomerang arrow, an arrow that always comes back to you. So remember that, folks. We will soon learn of its value. So to label his arrows, Clint heads out to go buy some tape. How freaking regular is this comic book, y'all? He needs tape. For me, at least, tape is the kind of thing that you never have around when you need it. I just love this inclusion in the comic. We turn the page and move back into the chase and to the action, and we learn immediately that this is a decision Clint will soon come to regret. Quote, I never should have left the apartment. We see that he did not get that tape he was on a mission for, as he is having issues with the wrong arrow for the situation here during his car chase with the Tracksuit Mafia. He shoots a bolo arrow when he needed an acid arrow. He's got Kate screaming back at him, telling him that if he had just labeled the arrows earlier, that this wouldn't be an issue. Meanwhile, the page turns and we move back in time as Clint's on the eternal tape hunt when he spots a red 1970 Dodge Challenger with a pretty redhead loading groceries into its trunk. Clint casually remarks he's always wanted one of those cars, and soon enough, she offers to sell it to him for cash. So there's a little thread here that runs through the whole issue around the 9 bad ideas that Clint has had today and how they've all led us into this frantic car chase with the Tracksuit Draculas. Bad idea number 9 was decide to organize the arrows and step out, tape, which was number 8. Number 7 was not waiting on the store to open up for tape. And now number 6 is agreeing to buy this car straight cash from this cherry, mysterious redhead character. However, before buying the car, Clint first insists on driving her to the bank so he can, of course, withdraw the money that they agreed upon. And also, he needs to stop at an office supply store. For what else? For tape, right? So next page, we are back in the chase, and Clint finally connects with a shot and an arrow. This time it's the acid arrow, which he's able to put into the grill / engine block of one of these Coopers, taking it out of the chase. But Our Tracksuit Mafia is still 3 Cooper strong, bro. And as Clint asks the bound and gagged redhead if the Mafia is after her or they're mad at him still, Kate reminds him that they got incoming. Another page turn. I love the pacing here. Another jump back in time, and it's post hookup with Clint and the redhead. And as he's putting his clothes on and looking out the window, he notices the odd sight of 4 of the same car all parked on the street outside. And he starts to grill this redhead about her story. First, she was headed out of town. Then she's selling her car for cash. And now she's asking him for the money because she has a flight to catch. This all doesn't add up to him. So as Clint starts to get serious with her about, her past and what kind of trouble she's going in, what the situation is, at that moment, the Tracksuit Draculas show up, kicking down the door, spraying up the whole apartment with machine gun fire. It's here that Aha makes a genius censorship choice when he uses Hawkeye's corner box head to cover Clint's junk as he takes a naked leap over the couch as he dodges automatic gunfire. This is friggin' hilarious. It became instantly iconic when it dropped. Everything about that panel conveys what this story and what this comic is all about. Messy, not at all what you expected. Shocking and personal at times in the best of ways. And at the end of the day, just plain fun. With the narration of scratch that, no good news, everything sucks, this image could well be the cover for a collected edition of this run. There's a reason I made it the thumbnail for the video. I love the reality of our predicament here and how this isn't a situation that favors Clint whatsoever. He is naked, literally, metaphorically, completely weaponless, and without any other options here. He grabs the lamp, goes to work, and he's pretty damn effective with the lamp, I gotta say, until he gets a gun butt to the back of the head and gets knocked out. He might have managed to take out a couple of rows, but this was never going to be a situation that Hawkeye was going to win or triumph over. He was outnumbered, outgunned, and they had the drop on him. So Cherry, our redhead with the car, gets bound, gets gagged, and abducted by the Tracksuit Bros. Soon enough, Clint comes to, regains consciousness, and who else but Kate Bishop to come and pick him up. Luckily for Cherry, Clint's stuff is still in her car, including his arrows, one of which is a tracer arrow, which allows him to track her and her captors along the West Side Highway. I love this flashback introduction to Kate, her shade of purple here, showing up, driving the VW Bug to pick up Clint, as she's always more put together, more clever, more mature than him in every possible way. She's rocking the shades. She's looking like she just left brunch with the Young Avengers. And don't forget that countdown of the 9 bad ideas that Clint has had and unfortunately acted upon during the course of the day. We saw number 5 during Clint and Cherry's post-coital convo about her situation. Mistake number 4 is when Kate pulls up and he gets her involved. They take off in the pursuit, and as one of the Tracksuit Bros is scolding Cherry and their car, we learn that she did in fact steal the Challenger, I think from the leader or one of the higher ups in the Tracksuit Mafia, right? As one of the bros threatens her that if there's so much as scratch on the car, then she's so dead. They are T-boned in that exact moment by Kate and Clint in the purple VW Bug. Love the way Aha does the crash lettering here on, with the outline of the panel. Kate with the ultimate burn, though, after the wreck. Hey, look, it's a metaphor for your love life. Ouch, Kate. That is brutal. The scenes between Kate and Clint throughout this whole sequence just crackle. The dialogue is fraction at its wittiest. It's breezy, but there's also subtext here. Clint trusts Kate and vice versa in a sense. But more importantly, Kate holds Clint accountable. There's so much going on unsaid in these little pauses. Anyway, back to the chase, and y'all, this is when the issue becomes a flex. We get the trick arrow montage, and Lord, is it glorious. So Aha lays it all out like a schematic. Each arrow is drawn in profile with its function noted like a tech manual. Net arrow, bola arrow, acid arrow. A little background on these arrow designs. When the Hawkeye show was originally debuting on Disney Plus in 2021, artist David Aha, he tweeted that the credit for these arrows belonged to Marvel's technical in-house guru for so many years, Elliot R. Brown. So in 1982, Marvel first published the first official handbook of the Marvel Universe. And in it, it contained detailed encyclopedic entries on all of Marvel's characters and their personal histories. And it was an enormous success. The deluxe edition came out just a few later in 1985. And in that, we had technical illustrations by Brown on everything from Stilt Man's armor to what was in Hawkeye's quiver. This was the first time that Hawkeye's arsenal had been laid out in such detail, and it's a discovery Fraction and Aha made and brilliantly incorporated into this comic book. I always personally fondly think of Elliot Brown's work when I think about the Punisher Armory issues he did in the early 90s. That series, which had gorgeous covers from cats like Joe Jusko, Jim Lee, Michael Golden, I believe. But today we were talking arrows, bro. Now, some of these arrows are just what the doctor ordered, and some are duds. Some Clint uses in tandem together. It's just so damn creative and cool. First up is the putty arrow. Clint GTAs the tracksuit bro out of the car, puts him into a sticky situation after he connects with the putty arrow as they drive away. And I love Clint's putty arrow bro celebration here. I know we have already touched on it, but man alive, the dialogue in this issue is straight up some of the best I've ever read. As Clint misses with the sonic arrow, he yells at Kate for another arrow. Any damn arrow she can reach. And this time he hits the jackpot with the explosive tip arrow, right? This is a masterclass in doing comedic action in comics, folks, without killing the momentum. And it's these odd little human touches about them going back and forth with each other that make the series sing. It's not about the explosions for me. It's about Clint fumbling through real life with a bow and way too much baggage. Next up is my favorite 1-2 arrow combo of the issue, and Kate and Clint working together in perfect unison. The Mini Coopers are keeping up with the Challenger. They're not being able to pull away from it. And as Kate tells Clint to watch out, she slams into one and sends it careening across the road. Clint reacts to this and fires a cable arrow ahead of it where the Cooper is headed. And as it veers into and through the cable from the arrow, it shears the top of the car off. It's super cool. Clint then immediately follows that up with a smoke bomb arrow. And we've got another car down, bro. Clint's narration here is just so dead on. Whoa, didn't think that would actually work. It's such a great 1-2 punch. I just want to quickly stop here and do another artistic shout out. A massive big ups to Matt Hollingsworth and his colors here and throughout this series. His muted purples, grays, and reds are all perfect tone setters. I love how it manages to be so damn stylish without ever being too loud. When I think of this comic and my brain goes into recall mode, one of the first things I get is that blast of beautiful purple that he chose for this incarnation of Clint and that deep cherry red. I have Hollingsworth to thank for all that wondrous color association. So thank you, Matt. A truly incredible job on colors. Thank you for elevating this already amazing book to new heights. Okay, so back to the present. Clint and Kate hit the bridge and are now starting to get fully boxed in. There's too many cars. There's too many people. The chase is hitting frantic peak pace here, guys. With Aha's choices and paneling and what moments to show us, this is what I'm talking about with the storyboard approach. We see Clint has the rocket arrow loaded up with that schematic graphic, sandwiching him, waiting for the right moment for the shot, and a tracksuit bro in hot pursuit with his machine gun ablazing. But in this moment, we get an overhead shot, tractor trailer veering over, and Kate collides with the truck on the bridge, sends Clint's rocket arrow way off course, exploding too close to them and nearly causing the Challenger to tip over. But Kate, ever cool under pressure, is able to regain control. I love Aha's use of sound effects here with the aroo and the scree, but also the click-clack of Kate's gear switching. My favorite, though, is the SERP we get when Clint plants the suction tip arrow on the hood of the car here for stability. These effects are not just noise, they are part of the story and so well executed. All right, we reached the climax of the chase. Clint uses that suction tip arrow to jump from one car to another and lamenting his awkward back in a sex line that he just delivered as he does so. There's legit Jackie Chan energy to how this is all unfolding. The comedy, the chaos, but still the clear geography. You never lose track of where people are or what's happening. To me, that's sometimes rare in comics, especially in chase scenes. So it is really appreciated here. Clint butt plants into the windshield of the Tracksuit Bros Cooper, and he uses the electro arrow to jab him in the neck, take him out. Nice move, bro. But wait, at the same time, the Cooper's passenger jumps Kate as she's trying to control the Challenger, and the culmination of both of these events results in a crash that has everyone's favorite Archer bracing for the bad as he says, "Oh man," before he is sent flying upon collision. Now, guys, for the second time this issue, our superhero gets knocked unconscious. Twice now. This again leads to Clint in a precarious situation as he comes to and he finds himself in a Mexican standoff with a gun in his face, courtesy of the Tracksuit Bro, who's got the other gun pointed at Kate Bishop, who's got an arrow notched, who's over there with Cherry, the redhead, and who also has an arrow notch pointed at the Tracksuit Bro. I love Kate's gusto and attitude here. First telling Clint, "Nice of you to join us," as he comes to, and then her disgust with the Tracksuit Bro and his misogyny. Clint screams at Kate that it's okay to loose the arrow. She does so, lets it go skyward. We're wondering what's going on, and the Tracksuit Bro begins to gloat over her seemingly big mistake, right? But then, wait, what could it be? Could it be? Could it be? It is. It's the good old boomerang arrow. It knocks out the Tracksuit Bro upon re-entry. Man, good old Boomy, always coming back to you in the end. Even Cherry seems half impressed. Huh? Good job, Clint. Now that's how you bring a story full circle, man. Sheesh. I love how Fraction and Aha allowed that seed to blossom. It's gorgeous storytelling here, and I find the spirit of it all so damn relatable. Clint takes a hit, or hits in this situation. Many hits. Things go sideways, but our boy keeps on going. It's messy heroism. It's not photogenic or PR approved, but it is real. Our final page is at the airport. Kate surveying the busted up Challenger. Clint and Cherry are saying their goodbyes. She's giving him the money back, right? She can't accept it now for sure. And she sort of kind of calls him her hero. Hero, man. And old Clint is all shucks, right? He's at a loss for words. And she takes the moment to kiss him as our issue ends with the one indicating that this is our final stupid mistake of the day. Such a great and fitting ending. So why do I love this issue so much? Hawkeye #3 is a masterclass in how to do a comic that's both stylish and sincere. It's action that has emotional weight. It's dialogue that doesn't talk down to you. And it's got a lead character who fails a lot, but who never stops trying. If you want more proof that superhero comics can be art without being self-important, then allow me to present Exhibit A. And this issue is the perfect encapsulation of what makes this series and comics in general sing. It's form and function. It's dumb action made smart and smart character work made simple. It doesn't waste a single panel. It's a masterclass on doing a lot with a little. Clint Barton is not the best Avenger. Hell, he's barely keeping it together every step of the way here. But that's the point. This book is about what happens between the big moments. And as old Blue Eyes would say, baby, that's life. Life is rent. Life is dogs. Friends who roast you. Life is tape, or the lack thereof. Life is guilt. Life is making bad calls and trying to make up for them. It's car chases and acid arrows and tracksuits too, right? Man, issue 3 delivers all these in motion, at speed, and without ever dropping the ball, bro. So yeah, Hawkeye #3, always a vibrant, stylish, refreshing reread. If you've never read this run to begin with, fix that. I implore you. If you've read it already, revisit this issue with fresh eyes. I promise it hits different every time in the best of ways. Man, give it to somebody out there looking to get into comic books. It's a great comic to recruit new readers with. Also, I have to mention before I get out of here, the Fraction and Aha series served as the main inspiration behind the 2021 Disney Plus Hawkeye show. Episode 3 of that series, entitled Echoes, contains an absolutely killer adaptation of this chase. This time, though, Clint's driving, Kate's shooting, and the Tracksuit Mafia are the ones with the Dodge Challenger. The chase, though, features several of the arrows used here in the comic. We got the putty arrows, suction tip arrows, cable arrows, explosive tip arrows, smoke bomb arrows. They all make an appearance. And there's also a climax on the bridge with the two Hawkeyes working together in tandem with a Pym particle arrow in a sequence that's freaking fantastic. It's one of the better comic book to live action integration adaptations into the MCU that I've seen. This chase also featured fantastic 360-degree camera pans, all sorts of exciting things with the cinematography. Check it out on Disney Plus if you haven't already.
Ready? Shoot up!
That was amazing!
So that's it for me today, gang. If you dug this spotlight and you want more deep dives into my weird and wonderful back issues, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to Dr. Doom's Fan Club with those notifications on. As always, drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me your favorite Hawkeye moment or issue from this run, or suggest to me another Fraction or AHA book you want to see covered. Both artists that I love so much. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay